Senator Joe Manchin is getting called out for his insistence on so-called bipartisanship with the Republicans. Now remember, Joe Manchin is pretty much the main reason why so many Democratic policies are getting blocked. Again, we've got a 50-50 Senate. We could blow up the filibuster. He refuses to do that. And we could pass certain things through budget reconciliation. Again, that is not something that Joe Manchin and in some cases Kyrsten Sinema want to actually do. Those are two Democrats that have so far been responsible for blocking a lot of decent things from being able to go through. And so now some examples, $15 minimum wage. Kyrsten Sinema said no. She did the John McCain. And as a result, she got blasted for it. Not only that, but you have Biden's infrastructure bill, a $2 trillion bill that would help rebuild some of our infrastructure, create some good paying jobs, et cetera, et cetera. You also have things like the PRO Act, which is pro-union, would help rebuild some of the labor power in our country. I think that is incredibly important for the longevity of the working class, and it would help out quite a bit. Now, Joe Manchin says, well, it's not that I'm against these things, but we need bipartisanship. We need the Republicans to work together with us. Laugh along with me. I've been saying for a long time, bipartisanship is dead. Okay. And what's left, what we have now that is called bipartisanship, whenever that happens, watch your wallet, because it's not going to be good for us. It's normally going to be something that's probably horrendous, whether it be another, increase in the defense budget, for example, or, something that's going to deregulate some of the banks who happen to be donors. So generally, when you hear the word bipartisan, watch out. It's not always bad, but it's kind of bad. Okay? And so that said, that's not to say that I don't think the two sides shouldn't be able to come together when they agree. No, it's just right now, the Republican Party is nothing but a bad actor. Okay? And so for that, I'm going to go to comments made recently by Mitch McConnell. Now, Mitch McConnell, during an appearance in Georgetown, Kentucky on Wednesday, said this, quote, 100% of my focus is on stopping this new administration. And added, I think the best way to look at what this new administration is, the president may have won the nomination, but Bernie Sanders won the argument. Oh, I wish. Oh, I wish Bernie Sanders had won both. Okay. Yes, Medicare for all. Sign me up. Green New Deal. Great. Increasing the power of labor. How about, letting workers get on the board of directors for major corporations? Let's go for worker co-ops. Let's go further, right? And now Joe Biden, of course, not that bold. Under Joe Biden, the system stays the same. Joe Biden wasn't lying when he said nothing will fundamentally change. That's what he told the donors. And that basically means that while there are going to be tweaks to the system, while there's going to be an undoing of a lot of Donald Trump's policy positions, you're going to end up having, and some of his worst decisions, by the way, you're going to have a return to what it basically was beforehand. What's problematic about that is that a lot of what happened beforehand kind of led to the rise of Donald Trump. And so that's a problem, okay? That said, is his infrastructure plan good? Yeah, it's good. It will fix roads and bridges. We desperately need that to happen. It's going to create some jobs. That's wonderful. Good paying jobs, for example. The PRO Act will help rebuild some of our labor. And so I'm not saying the stuff that Joe Biden is doing is bad. No, I think generally it's pretty good stuff. I just don't think it's sufficient to fix the systemic problems. But again, Joe Biden didn't run on systemic change. We're not going to seize the means of production. That's not going to happen. That said, Republicans They act like we're heading to communism. Like straight, they're like, pipeline to communism, Joe Biden. No, ridiculous. And so what they're doing is that they're, citing ridiculous stuff like the budget. We got a budget deficit. Oh my God. Who do we actually owe with that budget deficit? Who do we owe? Basically ourselves at this point. We hardly borrow. We really don't even borrow that much money from other countries, from China. And it's not like, hey, China, give us some money. It's China or other countries investing in bonds and basically saying, okay, we're going to buy some bonds and you're going to pay us back with interest. It's kind of how it works. But again, money's pretty much kind of a made up fictitious thing. We can kind of print it out of nowhere. Stephanie Kelton's got some great ideas on it. Basically, MMT kind of shows you how it really works. And when you look at all that stuff, you realize money's kind of fake. And the debt's kind of been used as an excuse to not do any of these big, bold things. We've got national debt. So that's why we can't do free college and anything like that. We can't invest in our own people, even though that we are the reserve currency for the entire world at this point. And that's a very incredibly powerful position to be into. Okay. That said, Republicans, it's not surprising that, Republicans are promising to block everything. That's exactly what happened under President Barack Obama. Why would you think the Republicans would act any differently? Even under Biden, which again, when you go back to Obama's like, I'm going to reach across the aisle. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to try to get Republicans as part of this. Oh, you don't like the public option. I guess I'll go to Obamacare. I'll take Mitt Romney's idea for healthcare, and we'll do Romney care across the country. Maybe that'll get some Republican votes. Nope. They got nothing. They've got nothing. So again, why would you believe that Republicans would act any differently under Biden? Well, Joe Manchin was asked that. He was recently on a segment with Chris Cuomo, and they got in a little bit of a tussle. Chris Cuomo actually bringing up some pretty good points. Let's watch.
Look what we've done, $1.9 trillion. Look what we did last year in all bipartisan way. Look what we've done this year. We didn't do it with a bipartisan way, but we did it because it needed to be done with the pandemic that we had. We did it at $1.9 trillion.
But you didn't do it bipartisan.
Input from the, no, we had a process of bipartisanship to a certain extent.
But then there were no
votes. There would have been more, but there wasn't. But there was one. Well, we never. We didn't try. We had some votes as far as in the
but they went through the reconciliation process, Senator, as you know. You went through reconciliation because they weren't going to work with you on it. McConnell had it locked down.
But then basically, then we did the hate crimes bill, and we went through a process where we had amendments on the floor. Joe Biden has got more done in 100 days.
But not with them.
Any president in my time that I can recall.
Not with them.
Basically, he got more done. He's put a plan out there, and he got more done.
But not with them.
We got it done, okay? And
but
we're
not
moving
with
in the right
them.
direction.
Not with them.
But you've heard Joe Biden. He wants it to work. It will work.
But they don't want it to work. He just told you, I'm stopping the administration. He just said it to you,
You don't know. You don't.
He just said it.
That was one person.
He's the head.
That's one person.
He's the leader.
He's not controlling all of that. I can assure you, we would not be having the discussions. There wouldn't be an offer on the table of $500 or $600 billion of infrastructure. Some starting point, which I think is a good starting point. Let's look at what we've done.
Everything that the Democrats have been able to do is without any Republican votes. How much more clear does it have to be? Republicans don't want to work with you. As simple as that. They don't want to work with you. They block efforts to get anything done. They just do. And by helping to block that efforts in the case of, bipartisanship. I'm going to work with the Republicans. I'm going to work with the Republicans. We're going to do this bipartisan. By doing that, you are essentially giving Republicans cover. That's what Joe Manchin's all about. And not only that, but hurting Democratic chances of actually retaining power. And as a result of that, hurting the country. But this isn't, look, it all for some, like, they're bending at the altar, bowing at the altar of bipartisanship. This isn't 1992, dude. Okay? No, the Republican Party is all about owning the libs. That's it. That's it. That's the ideology. There's a Republican that admits it. Like, we don't have an ideology anymore. We're all about owning the libs. We don't actually have policy that we're pushing. Yes. Either Joe Manchin is deeply ignorant of the political reality, which I find is laughable, or he's more likely paid by the donors to run cover for Republicans. That's it. That's it. I think we all know what the reality is. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.